When Donald Trump, once the epitome of political division, found himself at the helm of an unexpected financial revolution with his Trump meme coin, he never imagined it would lead to transforming the life of a liberal activist. What ensued was not just a tale of rescue, but one of profound change, stirring curiosity and emotion across the political spectrum. It all began on a chilly autumn evening in San Francisco when the narrative started to unfold. A liberal activist known for her fierce opposition to conservative policies was drowning in debt. Her life had become a relentless battle against financial ruin, and she was unable to escape the weight of overdue bills, mounting student loans, and the consequences of her dedication to activism. She had devoted herself to causes she deeply believed in, fighting tirelessly for equality, justice, and environmental sustainability. But this passion had come at the expense of her own financial stability. Her activism left little time or energy to focus on personal matters, including managing her finances, and soon she found herself overwhelmed by a mountain of debt that seemed insurmountable. Each day felt like a struggle, and every phone call or letter from creditors brought more anxiety and stress. The activist had once believed that her advocacy would lead to change, but she often found herself questioning whether she would ever be able to make an impact on her own life, let alone the broader world. The weight of the struggle grew heavier, and the crushing realities of living paycheck to paycheck began to close in on her. Her story, one of perseverance in the face of adversity, would have continued along its difficult path if it hadn't been for an unusual twist of fate. One evening, as she checked her digital wallet, she discovered an unexpected deposit, a small amount of Trump meme coin. The transfer appeared to be a prank from an anonymous donor, possibly someone trying to mock her political stance, or perhaps just a random act of mischief. At first, she thought little of it. After all, she had heard of the Trump meme coin, a cryptocurrency that had gained a reputation for being both volatile and somewhat ridiculous in the eyes of many. It was the kind of thing her circle would never have taken seriously. In fact, she had often mocked it herself. However, as the days passed, something remarkable began to happen. What started as a jest turned into something much more significant. In the chaotic world of cryptocurrency, where prices fluctuate wildly, the value of Trump meme coins soared. It was as if the coin had a life of its own, propelled by market madness, speculative investments, and the oddball nature of its creation. Initially dismissed as a joke by many, the coin's price began to climb at an unprecedented rate, causing her to check her wallet in disbelief. Within days, her small holdings of Trump meme coin had transformed into a fortune. She awoke one morning to find that her digital wallet now held enough to make her a multimillionaire. It was more money than she had ever dreamed of, and certainly more than she ever anticipated receiving from such an unlikely source. The financial shock was staggering. She could hardly believe her eyes. For years, her life had been consumed by activism and the pressure to make a difference in the world, all while struggling to make ends meet. Now, with a few clicks of a button, she had become a multimillionaire. Her initial shock was replaced by a mixture of awe, confusion, and disbelief. Her immediate thought was to pay off her crushing debt. But as the days wore on, the enormity of the situation began to sink in. She realized she now had the power to do something truly transformative, not just for herself, but for society. She could change the world in ways she never imagined possible, and the impact could go far beyond financial freedom. The news spread like wildfire. Headlines blared across media outlets. Liberal activist turns millionaire overnight with Trump's meme coin. And from debt to dollars, the Trump meme coin miracle. Social media platforms exploded with comments, memes, debates, and of course, speculation about what the activist would do with her newfound wealth. Some were mocking, others were admiring, and some were simply puzzled by the absurdity of it all. People couldn't help but find irony in the fact that a liberal activist had come into wealth through a cryptocurrency associated with Donald Trump, someone she had spent years publicly criticizing. However, the activist was determined to not let her newfound fame or wealth define her. Rather than retreating into a life of luxury or abandoning her ideals, she chose to take a bold step forward. She decided that this windfall could be more than just a stroke of luck. It could be an opportunity to make a lasting impact. She would not allow her story to be reduced to a viral sensation or an absurdity in the headlines. Instead, she chose to invest her money in a way that would bring people together across political lines and make a difference that transcended the divisions of the moment. She began brainstorming ideas for how she could use her wealth, and it didn't take long for her vision to become clear. After much reflection, she decided to create the Unity Project, a bold initiative aimed at bridging the gap between people from all sides of the political spectrum. Rather than becoming embroiled in further ideological conflict, she wanted to foster understanding and collaboration. The project would focus on education and community building, with a particular emphasis on bringing together young people who could help heal the rifts in the nation's political and social fabric. The Unity Project would consist of two main components. First, she would fund scholarships for students from disadvantaged backgrounds, regardless of their political leanings, who wish to study politics, economics, and social justice at universities across the U.S. She believed that the next generation of leaders needed to be equipped with the tools to think critically, collaborate across party lines, and understand the complexities of the world. The scholarships would be open to anyone with the passion and drive to work toward change, no matter their ideological stance. Second, the activist would invest in community programs aimed at bringing together people from both sides of the political divide for open dialogue, education, and collaborative service projects. These programs would create spaces where individuals could engage in meaningful conversations, listen to differing perspectives, and work together on projects that addressed common concerns. Her ultimate goal was to foster empathy, understanding, and cooperation between groups who often found themselves at odds. Her message was simple. True change comes when we step beyond our echo chambers and engage with others who may see the world differently. Her decision to dedicate her wealth to unity rather than personal gain struck a chord with many. The media frenzy grew even more intense, and soon the story was being discussed in living rooms and offices across the country. It was an unexpected development in an era dominated by division, and people were eager to see what would happen next. Could a single person, through an unexpected stroke of fortune, really bridge the gap between polarized communities? In a surprising twist, Donald Trump himself responded. In a rare moment of public humility, he tweeted, "When one of my biggest critics uses Trump meme coin to make the world a better place, I couldn't be more proud. This is what America's all about, unity over division." His tweet, though brief, sent shockwaves through the media. The Trump meme coin, once ridiculed by many as a frivolous, meme-inspired currency, was now being associated with something far more meaningful, a movement toward unity. The activists' Unity Project took off, gaining momentum as both liberal and conservative leaders rallied behind her cause. What had once seemed like an unthinkable alliance began to take shape, with people from all walks of life working together to support or expand similar initiatives. Even conservative think tanks and grassroots organizations found common ground with the project, acknowledging that bridging the gap between political ideologies was essential for the future of the nation. Both sides of the aisle recognized that the political landscape had become so polarized that finding common ground was more important than ever. As the Unity Project gained traction, it expanded far beyond the U.S. The activist traveled across the world, sharing her message of collaboration and unity in countries where political divides were similarly entrenched. Leaders from various nations invited her to speak, hoping to replicate the success of the project on a global scale. The Trump meme coin became an emblem of global unity, with even critics of Trump acknowledging that the meme coin had unintentionally sparked a worldwide movement of reconciliation. As her travels took her to new corners of the globe, the activist's influence grew, and the Unity Project took on new dimensions. It funded initiatives that helped bridge not only political divides, but also cultural ones. Programs were created to unite people from different faiths, ethnic backgrounds, and socioeconomic statuses. Schools in war-torn regions were given access to education and technology through the project's funding. It became a symbol of hope for communities torn apart by strife, reminding the world that change could come from the most unexpected places, even a meme coin. Back in the U.S., the story of the liberal activist who had used the Trump meme coin to change the world continued to inspire. Every year, new graduates from the Unity Project scholarships entered the workforce with fresh perspectives and a passion for collaboration. Political leaders from both parties began to use the story as an example of what could be accomplished when citizens put aside differences for the common good. It wasn't just a legacy of financial success, it was a legacy of unity, education, and social change. In the end, Donald Trump, through an accidental stroke of generosity, found a way to end his public life on a high note, remembered not just for his controversial politics, but for inadvertently fostering a movement toward unity. The Trump meme coin, though initially a symbol of division and mockery, had come to represent something entirely different. It had become a tool for positive change, a symbol of how even the most unlikely scenarios could lead to meaningful transformation. Through this strange confluence of events, America and the world had witnessed a story of redemption and reconciliation, one that none could have predicted, but that would leave a lasting legacy for years to come. This tale, rooted in absurdity and serendipity, proved that even in the most divided moments, hope could emerge from the most unexpected sources. The activist's legacy would live on as a reminder that no matter how fragmented the world seemed, there was always the potential for unity, if only people were willing to take the first step.